Welcome back. I'm Carl from Puma Pork Barbecue, and thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be doing a 13-pound brisket on our Ugly Drum smoker. Now, we're going to be doing this semi-hot fast. We're going to run about 300 degrees. I'm thinking it's going to take 5 to 6 hours to get it done, but it's going to turn out really good, and we're also going to make burnt ends at the end. So stick around. Let's get to doing this. Okay, I've already trimmed the brisket up, and I mixed up a rub for it, and it's 4 tablespoons of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, and about a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we're going to apply this real liberally on this brisket, and that's a seasoning we're going to use on this. So I'm just going to real liberally apply this. This is going to create a really good bark on that. And if you notice, I'm not using any binder for this. I'm not using any mustard on this. Just going to pat it in good. I'm going to make sure I get all the edges real good on this. And while I'm thinking about it, a gentleman here locally that does wildlife photography, Ron Hayes, has started a new channel. He's really good. He's been doing a lot of stuff on Instagram, and I'll keep a link. I'll have a link down below in the description for his channel. Go over and check him out. If you're into photography or wildlife photography, or you just like wildlife in general, check him out. He's really good. Does a lot of trips to Alaska, does a lot of stuff here. He's doing podcasts now, so check him out. He's really good. So we'll get this all seasoned up. Get it covered real good. Get it all patted in. So there we go. Make sure this is patted in good. We're going to flip this over. There we go. And we're going to be going on the smoker fat side down, since all of our heat's coming from the bottom on that Ugly Drum. And I trimmed this up a little bit. Just you want to leave the fat cap at about 1/4 of an inch to an 1/8 inch, something like that. And just trim off any loose pieces. But after trimming, this was a little over 13-pound brisket when it started. I get something good so we get a bark. And after trimming it, I'm going to guess it's probably 11 pounds now. So just a perfect size. But this is going to turn out really, really good. So, but just about got this all seasoned up. Just going to make sure I got all the edges done. Just rub. There we go. A bit more down here. Like I said, you can use this real liberally. This is going to make a really good bark on this. Okay, I'm going to let this hang out, and I'm going to go out and get our Ugly Drum smoker up to temp and get it going. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because I've had quite a few people ask me how I run my Ugly Drum smoker, because I'm using regular Kingsford charcoal, and I'm getting 21, 22 hours burn time out of a basket of it. So come on out, let's get that going. So this is how I set up my, let me get over here where it goes a bit. I fill up my basket. I put an empty can in the middle, and I fill up my basket with charcoal around it. Now over here on my grill, I've got a chimney of charcoal. Let me zoom out a little bit. Then let me set this down here so you can see what I'm doing. I set I've got one of these little tumbleweeds here, if you'll notice. And I just set it down right there. And then I light it. Let me change hands here. I'm not an ambidextrous type person. Okay, if you can see, we've got it going there. In about 15 minutes, this thing will be ready. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like. So, and what I'll do, I'll pour the lit charcoal in the can because both ends are cut out of it. And then once I pour the lit charcoal in the can, I pull it out. Then I set this whole thing over in my ugly drum smoker, and it's ready to go. Just wait for it to get up to temp and put the meat on there. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, the stuff is ready. I'm going to put this right down in there, just like that. And then we're going to lift this out. Just like that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this over in there, center. Now, I'm going to put 2 chunks of mesquite on it. Get this over here. Because I'm using mesquite wood today. Now we're going to let this thing get up to temp. I'm going to set this recorder down and finish getting this put together and get it up to temp. Okay, my smoker's about up to temp. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this. Okay, my smoker's about up to temp. I'm just using aluminum foil. Now I'm going to get the brisket on. Okay, I'm going to put the brisket on right here. Get my meat probe in there. We're going to go right in here with the meat probe, that center. We're going to get the lid back on this, and we're going meat side down. So, if you'll notice, I got the lava lock temp controller on it running, and this thing keeps the temperature absolutely fantastic on this ugly drum smoker. So we got it on there. We're going to let it run for about an hour. Then we're going to come back out and we're going to spritz it a little bit and check it. So hang with us. Let this clear out a little bit. Okay, let me see the camera. Okay. Boy, our brisket's looking good. I'm just going to spritz it a little bit. There you go, hold that. Get this cover back up. Okay, we're spritzing with just straight Coca-Cola. That's what we're spritzing with today. We're spritzing every hour. Look at this brisket. Well, it's looking good too. Okay, we're going to sit on 3 hours now, and we're going to spritz this again. All right. Well, this is looking good. I mean, look at the bark on this thing. Is that looking good or what? It's up to 165 internal now. Okay, our brisket's almost done, so now I'm going to mix up the sauce for the burnt ends. And what I've done, I've taken 2 cups of cola. You can use any cola you want. I use Coca-Cola since I was spritzing the brisket with that. And I put it in a pan and I put it on medium heat and reduced it about half. Next, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of whatever barbecue sauce you prefer. If you want to use homemade, you can. Okay, there's 1 cup. And I use this Heinz Texas Bold and Spicy. I really like it. So, I'm going to put another half cup in it. There we go. Get that in there real good. Just measuring cup out really well. In there. Okay. Now we're going to put 1/3 cup of brown sugar in. Okay. Now I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, or however you pronounce that. One. There's the second one. This is going to be a really good sauce to go on these. It's got a little sweet hint to it, but that's why I prefer mine. Okay. Now I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of honey in. Yeah, this is the way I like my burnt ends, my brisket burnt ends. So, that. Okay. That over there. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of soy sauce in. There we go. Yeah, I just reduced this mixture down about half. The Coca-Cola that I use. Like I say, you can use root beer, you can use Big Red, you can use whatever soda or cola that you prefer. And now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter to this. There we go. Now this is going to go back on the stove, and I'm just going to heat it till everything is combined. And once everything's combined, it'll be ready. And our on our brisket, we didn't wrap it or anything on the ugly drum smoker. And I know you saw me use different seasonings when I use the electric smoker. Well, I think each type of smoker makes a little different flavor profile on food. So this is how I do my brisket on the ugly drum smoker, and I do it a little differently on the offset, which I'll be doing a brisket. It won't be a beef brisket, but I'll be doing a brisket here in the near future on it, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on back on the stove, let it be warming up so all of this stuff combines good. And when we get the brisket off, I'll be back and I'll show you how I do the burnt ends. Well, the flat, we're going to separate the flat from the point. I'm going to use the point for the burnt ends, and then we're going to put the flat in a cooler to rest, and I'll show you how we do all of that. Okay, our brisket's done. I'm fixing to separate the point from the flat here. Shouldn't take too much to separate it. Just going to cut right down through the fat. Flat, cut this right here, the flat, we're just going to wrap up in aluminum foil. It's nice and hot. Just up in aluminum foil right quick. Let this start resting. While we have our burnt ends going. Just like this for a minute. Now this, I'm just going to slice this up into pretty good chunks. Boy, that bark is nice. It's not soggy, that's for sure. Like I say, we didn't wrap this at all. Okay, let me set this right on here, like that. I know there's a mess here, but okay, I'm going to get this sauce that we're just going to pour this over. Okay, let me get these kind of mixed up a little bit so they're all good and coated. Okay, now we're going to get these little morsels back on the smoker for probably about an hour. So that'll give us enough time to rest this brisket flat, and we'll be back. We'll show you how it all turns out. Try this. I want you to look at that. So look at that. See how it pours. Oh yeah. Oh man. That is some good eating right there. It's good eating. Oh yeah, man! All those flavors come through. You can look at this. You can see the smoke ring around it. And we didn't wrap this at all. No wrap. We took it straight to about 200 and separated it. And then we worked on the. Excuse me. Then we did the. Burnt ends, and man, they look really good. So let me get some of them out here and we'll give those a try. Okay, that's enough for right now. So, put this back over here, and man, they do look good. Look how soft they are. Oh man. That's what I'm talking about right there. That is some good eating right there. That's the best part of the brisket. It just falls apart in your hand. But they're hot. They're real hot. So there you have it. Let's go over what we did here. We mixed up some black pepper, salt, paprika, garlic powder, a little bit of cayenne, use that as the rub on our brisket. We put it on the ugly drum smoker at 300 degrees with some mesquite wood, and then once we got it to about 200, we pulled it out, separated the point and flat from it. You know, the point from the flat. Put the flat in a pan there. We mixed up some Coca-Cola, some brown sugar, some soy sauce, some Worcestershire sauce, and some barbecue sauce. And we'll have links to the recipe and everything and what we use in the description. We'll have the recipe and links to it in the description. But made our burnt ends, left them on there for an hour at 300 degrees. Man, they turned out fantastic. All of it did. So, thanks a lot for joining us. And, you know, go by and check out Ron Hayes' channel. And he's a great photography guy. So, thanks a lot for joining us. I want to send a special thanks out to all the men and women in the military that are serving around the world and protecting us. And also to all the men and women who are serving in law enforcement that protect us every day. Thank you very much.